Hello, welcome back to the Polished and Powerful podcast. Today I have Alex. She's an entrepreneur, a mom, and just doing all the things. So we're going to get into it. You want to do an intro background about yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much. Like you said, I'm Alex. I live in New Hampshire with my husband of just over 9 years. We have two kids. They're 8 and 6. Fun fact, my husband is almost 20 years older than me, which is crazy. But he also has children. So I'm also a stepmom. We're just a big blended family. I work full time in marketing for a bank. I've been there for almost 11 years. I love my full time job. And I also have a side business. So no shortness of chaos and fun around here.
Right, and I understand the blended family because
Mm,
my man, he also has kids before I met
hmm.
him. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I get where you're going with that one.
Hmm.
So, what is life for you like now as a banked marketer and entrepreneur?
That's a good question. So I feel like, I'm in my mid 30s and I feel like we're finally in a good place just with really figuring out ourselves and our finances and our life and our kids and like we're in a good spot. But one thing that I get asked a ton about is like when you work full time and you're busy, like why is it that you even bother with like having a business, right? And so to your question about like what is it like with having a business and why do I do it? Um, when I first started this business that I'm in, it is a holistic wellness company, which helped me with my anxiety and overwhelm as a mom. And I started because at the time I was really in the thick of motherhood. I was struggling a lot. I was crying a lot. I was just really in the throes of it. I was not a super nice mom. I felt like I didn't want my kids to grow up thinking like my mom's a mean mom because all she does is yell. Um, but when you're in it, right, like like they're 4 and they're 2 and they're toddlers and it's just a lot. It's overwhelming. So I started thinking about ways and things that I needed to do. And one day I had this panic attack and I said, I'm done. Like, I'm done with feeling this way. I'm done with my reactions to things. And so I found a CBD product that helped me. And over time, I was noticing the changes in myself. And I was using Instagram as like an outlet for me to connect with people that were like minded, to just get it out there. Right. Um, and so I felt like without that outlet, I would have felt very alone. Like I would have felt like I was the only one going through something like this, and that's just not true. And so I wanted to use and have Instagram, my little corner. It's not a very big corner, but my little corner of the internet, just be a place where moms could go that they could relate to somebody going through something. It's not all sunshine and roses. It's not all perfect all the time. And I show the messy, I show the chaos, I show the struggles, and I really wanted it to be that. So for me, it's like having a business alongside being a working mom and alongside the chaos and the kids. I really wanted to just show that we're relatable and you have somewhere to go where you can just lay it out there and be open and raw and not have to worry about judgment or feeling alone. Um, and on the side of that too, of course, like uh, having a nest egg for the what ifs is really important. Um, we Again, at the time I started having a side business again with my full-time income, my husband and I decided he wasn't going to he was going to leave his job. It was really bad for his mental health. He had no backup plan, and for the first time ever we were going to go to a one income family. And I was like, the stars literally could not have aligned more. Like, I want to share with other moms what I found to help me. I want to have an opportunity to connect with other people that are like me. But I also want to help my family any way that I can, even though I'm busy, even though I have a lot going on. And I wanted to build a security blanket for us with a secondary stream of income. So since doing that, we've just gotten into a groove and a rhythm and really had a good like financial security from all that.
That makes sense because a lot of people can't take when it's only one income and you're just
Mm-hmm.
like,
I
that
know.
alone is stressful too. So,
It is. It
yeah.
is. And like you shouldn't have to have the worry. And even if you have two incomes, like what if you need a new car? What if like and that's sudden and you don't expect it, or you need to get your septic pumped and like it's just life happens and to just not have something there for you is stressful. So,
Yeah. To be honest, that's how me and my man had argued too a lot because I was in postpartum.
yep.
I had to stay home. I was frustrated. I didn't sign up for that type of for that deal.
No, right? I get it.
Yeah. So you want to talk a little bit about your CBD? Is it pills? Is it a drink?
Yeah, I'd love to. So it is, we have all sorts of things. It started off actually as a hemp wellness company. It was founded by a mom who wanted safe and clean CBD for her kids, which I love and resonate with. I have a son, my son is 8 and he has ADHD, a lot of just, developmental things. And I give it to him for mood regulation. And I never would have given it to him if I hadn't taken it myself or felt comfortable with
Right.
where it started from and what's in it. So that's the roots of the company, right? And we've really expanded to be more holistic wellness. And what does that mean? Functional mushrooms to help with things like cognitive function, focus, mental clarity. Hemp products span so many different things. They do gut health, pain, sleep, anxiety, overwhelm. And we recently just expanded into women's wellness, so perimenopause, hormonal imbalances, and things of that nature, because the hemp plant helps with so many body functions. Um, and I am not a holistic girl. Like,
Right.
I don't get organic everything. That's just not my shtick. I just don't do it. But when it came to something like this, a supplement that I was putting into my body, something that I was making a conscious decision to say, I don't really feel like I can go to therapy right now, because at the time that I started using CBD, I was so confused by my feelings. Like, you're a mom, you get it, right? Postpartum is crazy, and it doesn't just happen 2 months after the baby's born. For me,
Right.
it was 2 years. It was crazy. And I didn't understand what I was going through. And so talking about it with the therapist at that time in my life didn't make sense to me. I couldn't explain it. But I said, I can't do nothing. So this is what I chose to do. And if I'm going to choose to do this, I needed it to be something that I felt safe and clean taking. Um, the company is based in the United States, so everything that is in the products is grown here, sourced here, it's tested, and it's very, like I said, it's organic and very safe and clean for all all humans, adults, kids alike. Um, and for me personally, everybody in my family uses it. My kids take it. My husband uses collagen. I use a million things, but but we do it to keep ourselves balanced. We do it to keep our pain in check. My husband uses it for pain. We do it for mood and emotional regulation, and it just makes us overall, I don't want to say better because we're great the way that we are, but it just makes us feel better. It makes us feel whole and balanced. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Mhm.
good you touched on that because that holistic really works.
I
Instead
know.
of, doctors slapping medication on you and they don't really know your background, all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And I just didn't feel, especially where it came to my son, like, not to say that there's anything wrong with it. Everybody has their own choices and preferences and things that are going on in their family and their life that they need to make those choices. But for us, I didn't feel comfortable giving my 6-year-old son medication for something at this point. Will
Yeah.
we ever get there? Who knows? But for me, I said this is the route that I want to take first. I want to give this a chance to work, and we've seen improvement. So it really is about, what works best for you, but holistic, yeah, you're right. You said it.
Yeah. The safer route.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Just works with your body's functions that you already have. It's like taking any other supplement, right? It's like when you're low in calcium, you take a calcium supplement to help, or you're low in iron, it's the same thing. When you take a
Mhm.
CBD supplement, which is different, I need to say, it is different than what you think it is. It is not a pot gummy. Everyone thinks that. It is not that. It resonates with it works within your body's natural functions. And when you're depleted in the cannabinoids, which is in a CBD gummy, um, it replenishes your body where you're depleted, which a lot of people don't know that that's how it works.
Yeah, because you just taught me something new. So, yeah.
There we go.
So, is there any challenges or hardship you face and how'd you get through it?
Yeah, so like I said, I do a lot of my work on social media where it comes to the side business. And you probably can relate to this. Many people probably can. Comparisons are all around you. And when you have a business like this, and you really, for me, I go all in on things. Like, I don't do anything
Half-assed.
halfway. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say that. Didn't know if that was okay. But yeah, I don't do anything half-assed. I give 100% of my heart to, and I don't put my name behind something if I don't firmly believe in it, right? And so back a few months ago, I was really in the thick of like, I should be doing more. I should have more success. What does that even mean? I should be making more content. I should be making better content. I should be doing this or that. And I was looking at everybody around me in the business and I'm like, well, they're doing that and they're doing that. And what I wasn't considering is that person's a stay-at-home mom. That person has kids that are way older than my kids. That person only has one kid. I have two kids. And I was looking and comparing myself to people and women that A, I should be celebrating, and B, are in a totally different season of life than I am. And I was really struggling to make my business, my content feel genuine and authentic, which is what I've built the entire platform on. I don't want to sit here and talk about something because I feel like I have to talk about it. I want to talk about it because I want to talk about it and because it should be talked about. And so I was really struggling with that. And I needed to find a solution to get out of that. And my solution for me was, let me take a pause from the noise. I took a social media break for about a month, which is really hard as somebody who has a social media business. And also as a 34-year-old woman who looks at reels a lot. Like, let's be honest, it's hard to just like go cold turkey and say, bye, I'm signing off. But I needed it. I needed to, for a lot of reasons. I needed to get back to celebrating the people around me. I needed to be able to say, what am I doing this for? And having better, more genuine connections with people and actually talking to people and not just putting content out there so in the hopes that somebody will message me back. Like, that's icky. And I didn't like that. I wanted to write content. I wanted to share stories. I wanted to get back to making people feel good, which is the whole point of what I, A, built my platform around, and B, is what I'm sharing about. And so I needed the pause break to really get my mind back right. And it was hard. But when I came back, I just feel like I have less pressure now. I have less pressure to put out 18 pieces of content because the business line, the business model tells you have to do that, or the social media world says you have to do that, or put up 85 stories. Like, I don't feel pressure to do that anymore. And I can work the business the way that I want to work it, that makes me feel good, that's actually talking to people in the right way, that is actually making the connections that I want to make, instead of just doing it to, rise or make a sale or do whatever, because that's not what it's about. And I needed to reset. So
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense because once we start comparing ourselves, you kind of get defeated. So I understand.
yeah, and I mean it's like that all around, like motherhood and like in all different areas of our life, it's hard, it's really hard not to do that, but sometimes quieting the noise is what you need to do.
Yeah. So that's why we trying to tell newer entrepreneurs too, or especially in network marketing, like if you're posting your business all the time, you're gonna get burned out, you're gonna get tired,
Yes.
people gonna stop commenting. So it's like just post stuff, share, that you love, and
Mm-hmm.
you just build connections. And that's just how I started making sales too. Like, I connect with them. Okay, I'm gonna follow up with you. I'm gonna follow up. I'm gonna follow
Mm-hmm.
up.
Exactly.
But other than that, yeah, content should be fun. You're right.
Yeah, and it's your real life, that's what people relate to more than anything else, is just,
Yeah.
man, I had a rough morning today too. Like, just got
Hmm.
to show the messy and ugly, but the really good parts too. But it has to be real, and people can tell, they can smell the fake.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, is there a tip or a tool you want to leave with the audience?
Kind of more general. I want to talk a little bit more about what I was saying earlier around the side business and like one of the reasons why I started it. This is a hill I will die on forever and ever. I am a huge proponent of side businesses, and I think every single person in the world should have one. It doesn't have to be direct sales, it doesn't have to be social media. It can be you go bartending 2 nights a week, or you make your own crafts and you sell them on Etsy. Anything that like fuels you and drives you and makes you happy and gives you purpose, something that helps other people. Everybody should have a secondary stream of income, because for so many reasons. But number one, for me, something I do for me. This is my
Period.
thing. It's something
Period.
that I love. Right, period. I'm not just a mom. I don't just work full time. I am somebody with real thoughts, with something to say, with something to offer, and it makes you feel good as a woman, as a mom, as whoever. And also, you gotta build a secondary stream of income for the what if scenarios. The what if your husband needs to leave his job. The what if somebody loses their job. The what if something breaks. Nobody wants to pay $10,000 for a furnace that breaks in their home. What if you had a nest egg to help you pay for that over time? That's huge. Um, Nobody should be without that. And it's hard because usually when people think side hustle, they're like, ugh, I don't want to sell anything. It's
No.
like, you don't have to sell anything. You just have to find purpose, find something that you love, something that you enjoy, and take the time to do it 1 night a week, 2 nights a week, or however many nights that you want. I'm thankful that I have the flexibility of, not having to do my business as a full-time income. So I can take breaks and I can have that balance. And I know not everybody has that, but whether it is your full-time thing or it's a secondary thing, you got to find your thing. And I think that's so important.
Mm-hmm. I love that you shared that. Oh my gosh, because like the power of the internet, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just pretty
Honestly.
much put out your expertise and people will gravitate to it. So
Yes, yes. And people probably do it more than they think they do. Like, I know
yeah,
you're not going to go, like, Dunkin' Donuts isn't going to pay you for like sharing their coffee. But like, if you're sharing your favorite, I share my pumpkin coffees like 3 times a week. And it's like, they're not
right.
paying me money, but why don't you find something else that you're passionate about that you can share like that? Because people really relate to that. Like, all my Dunkin' Donut friends are like, yeah, pumpkin's back. It's like, why not find something else that brings you joy that also can make you some money on the side too? That's
Yeah,
not icky. That's reality. And so many people do it, and everybody should,
yeah,
truly.
definitely because
Mm-hmm.
the world is based off sales. You either buying or you're consuming. There's, it's always like that. So
That's it. That's it. You're right.
yeah, yeah. But this was beautiful, Alex. I'm so
Oh,
grateful that you showed up. Oh
thank
my gosh,
you. Thank
great
you for having me.
advice.
This was so fun.
Yes. So where can people find you?
Yeah. I don't do like TikTok. I've never had it. I know I'm kind of lame. And I don't do threads. So if you're going to find me, you can find me on Instagram. It's just at Alex Haberland.
All right. I hope you guys heard that loud and clear. We're going to link her Instagram in the show notes. And we will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.